What's going on? I mean, a lot of people have this election on their mind. Many people are over it. They're tired. They just want to get it over with. So the outcome of this election could potentially have an impact on interest rates. It could potentially have an impact on housing prices. So what typically happens when people get indecisive about something is they don't take any action. They just pause and they get that deer in the headlights look and they just don't move. They don't go one direction or the other. They become stagnant. So the purpose of today's presentation is to show you folks that you have a tool that you can help use to get those people moving in one direction or the other. It's going to help you because if they're not looking to do something, you don't want to spin your wheels on somebody that's not going to go ahead and complete a transaction. But it could also help those people that are stuck, and you can help them move forward. And let me go ahead and pull up today's presentation. So we built a mock presentation, and I'm going to put some disclaimers in there right off the bat. The names of these products are completely your choice. It's not suggesting that there's a particular outcome will come about based upon one particular person being elected. We're not endorsing either candidate. It's solely for demonstration purposes so that you could paint the picture for your client of what potentially could happen by them taking no action, by them not moving forward. So let me do this. I'm going to walk you through the presentation, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring Star up, and she's going to show you how you could build a presentation similar to this so that you could share it with your clients to help get them moving in either direction. Either, you know what, we're not going to do anything. Okay, good. You know, I'm not going to invest my time with this particular client anymore. I'm going to work on the people that are going to move forward. So let me go ahead and clear these highlights, and I'll walk you through each of these different products that we built. Now, what I would suggest, and Star's going to demonstrate this when she's building the presentation, is that this particular presentation can be built as a marketing presentation. In other words, it's not geared towards a specific individual. So you can use it as a marketing presentation that you can utilize with either your realtor partners or those borrowers, first-time home buyers, borrowers. You can save it as a marketing presentation, and then you could do a quick copy analysis and make it specific to an individual. But let me walk you through the presentation so you have a better understanding of how it works here. So in this first product, I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. It should appear highlighted on your screen now. The buy now option, which is the option that somebody has to take advantage of right now under the current situations, under our current President Obama. So the buy now option. Somebody could purchase a home for $425,000. In this example, we used a 20% down payment. You could use whatever down payment amount that you think would be applicable. And again, you could change the name of the product to whatever you think is going to drive across the point. So a purchase price of $425,000. You, of course, would want to change the product price, the purchase price, to whatever's relevant in your area. We just chose $425,000. Borrower puts a 20% down payment down, which means that they're using a loan amount of $340,000. We chose a rate of 4.25%. It's a 30-year fixed rate term. The borrower's payment is going to be $2,239.27. And Star, does that include taxes and insurance? Is that a total PITI payment?
It is, Brian.
Okay, perfect. So this is what the borrower has the opportunity to take advantage of right now. This is what we know. This is the current market conditions. Now, what would happen if the borrower decides to wait for if they feel like prices are going to drop? Maybe under a President Trump, prices are going to drop, but on that same sense, perhaps rates are going to increase. So you can see that there was a rate increase of 4.25% to 4.75%. a half a point increase. Although the price of the home has dropped, and again, these names are interchangeable, you can name them whatever you want. The price of the home did in fact drop by $25,000. However, the rate increased. Well, what did that do for the borrower? Well, it gave them a slightly lower payment, but in that time that they had to find another property perhaps that they wanted to put an offer in, there's a lot of uncertainty. What could potentially happen? Well, rates could potentially increase. So again, you're painting the picture for your borrower as to what could potentially happen should they not take any action. Now, this next product, the no drop, and we just happen to choose the name Clinton for this particular product, just to have a little bit of fun. Again, not endorsing any particular candidate, not suggesting a particular outcome is going to come about. But in this particular product, you could see, well, the price of the homes did not decrease. They actually stayed the same as to what the borrower could take advantage of right now in the current market. However, what did happen with this particular product is rates increased by a half a point. And you could show the borrower the impact that that has on their monthly payment. Now, if a borrower is right on the cusp of being able to get an approved eligible cert, maybe they're right at that DTI threshold, this could potentially knock them out of being able to purchase a home at a particular price point. So just some thoughts that you want to go ahead and make sure that you're sharing with your customers, making sure that you're educating them using a presentation like this so that they know the potential outcome. There's a cost that's associated with waiting, a potential cost that's associated with waiting. And then this last product. The last product here is, we called it year-end chaos. Again, you can name it whatever you want, but it's painting the picture that should they decide to wait, maybe the worst case scenario comes about where not only rates increase by that same factor of a half a point, but what happens if prices increase as well? What happens if they go up $25,000 from where they're at this point in time? So you can see the impact that it has on the borrower's monthly payment again. So you're painting the picture for your clients, you're educating them about what could potentially happen, and you're helping them either move, either hitting the brakes, stop, we're not going to do anything, or we're going to go ahead and move forward and we're going to take advantage of, the current market conditions and move forward. And as I mentioned, if you have that borrower that's right on the cusp of an approved eligible cert and not being able to qualify, painting a picture like this to them could be very, very relevant, because if a 0.25% rate increase occurs, well, they're not going to be able to have as great a purchasing power. They're not going to be able to purchase a $450,000 home. They're going to have to settle for a lower price point. So it's painting the picture for your clients. It's cost of waiting presentation. It's showing that there's a cost that is associated with inaction, basically. So I'm going to pause here for a moment, see if there's any questions about this particular presentation, the particular products, and how you would use this in working with the client. And then Star's going to jump in and she's going to show you the nuts and bolts of how to build a presentation like this. So I'm just going to take a little pause here and see if there's any questions that come about. Now, again, this is a presentation that you can use for marketing purposes. You can go ahead and include a video with this. You could send it out to your database and explain to them, get them to take action. A lot of originators are titling election uncertainty. You always want to think about, what's going on in the current environment and how you can help educate your borrowers, potential borrowers, with content that is going to help you along with them. So it's geared as a marketing presentation. And do you think that this is going to be helpful for you? If you want to go ahead and share that in the question area, do you think a presentation like this would be helpful for you in working with your clients that are either stuck on the fence or possibly, generating additional business?
And don't be shy. Your feedback is much appreciated. It's time for me and Brian to debate this out, right, Brian?
Okay, so we've got some positive feedback, yes, from quite a few people. Ryan had a question about Facebook. One of the things that whenever you're doing something like that, Ryan, I think, yes, I think it's good content for that, but you always want to make sure that you're within compliance of whatever company that you're working with. If you're an individual, then that's a different case. But make sure that you run it by your compliance department, social media compliance department. I don't want to see anybody get in any type of trouble in doing something like this. So just cover all your bases.
Great point, Brian.
Great question there, Ryan. Okay. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and have Star come in. And then, like I said, this hour is for you folks. So any questions that you have, Star's going to go ahead and walk you through the nuts and bolts of how to build a presentation like this. She's going to show you some shortcuts. Presentation like this can be built very, very quickly and very easily. And again, great presentation to have for marketing purposes. And with that, Star, jump right in.
Thanks, Brian. Okay, guys, let's get ready to build. So I'm going to go ahead and clear these highlights really quickly, Brian. And I just accessed my mortgage coach system. Same thing that you guys will need to do. Properly authenticate yourself with your password and email and get started. So this may look a little bit different if you are always going into new client, which I did, but it's automatically defaulted to individual. But in this case, I wanted to do a marketing presentation. So I just flipped the radio dial to marketing. And then what you need to do, we've always preached in our trainings, is always use a friendly name. Well, in this particular marketing presentation, the report headline is the friendly name. If you want, you can copy and paste and duplicate it here, but just one area is definitely fine when it comes to the marketing piece of it. And then right here, you see there's some notes here. So definitely the segue of what Brian was talking about. How will the 2016 election affect the housing market and your wallet? So with this presentation, it helps you empower your customers to make a confident financial decision. So now that I have my marketing headline here, I'm going to go ahead and advance forward to arrow to the right and select my goal. So my goal is to purchase a new home. Now the assumption. So with the presentation we started off with, the first purchase price that we used was $425,000. So I'm going to put 425 there. Advance forward. Now the affordability section is a section that I'm definitely going to bypass because this is a marketing piece and it's not bar specific. So I don't have any gross income for a specific customer or client. So I'm going to bypass that. Also, the next question, what would your client like to spend? I'm going to bypass this as well. Now my product. So as you know, with using Mortgage Coach, you have the ability to build up to 4 simultaneous products and show those comparisons. So I'm going to build my first one manually and show you how to leverage from the copy from feature to bring in some of those details and make it very easy for you. So whenever you are adding your product name, you want to make sure that it's within 12 characters or less, including spacing if you decide to abbreviate. So I have my first product name here, and this is not a refinance, it is a purchase. My purchase price is $425. And the down payment is 20%. So I'm going to put 20% here. And then the first rate that we're starting off with was 4.25. And then the term in months, 360. I'm going to go ahead and save this information. Now my closing costs. Now what I wanted to do as my marketing piece, I wanted to itemize all of my fees. So I'm going to go to closing costs, detail, and pull from my fee templates. So these products that I'm showing is a conventional. So I'm going to pull from my fee template, 30-year purchase conventional, and apply those fees right to the loan by hitting apply to loan. I am now going to add my 15 days of prepaid interest and any applicable earnest money. So I just went ahead and implemented $2,500 here. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in those monthly costs. I'm going to use a factor of 0.35 for the hazard and 1.25 for the property taxes. The LTV is 80%, so it's not calling for any MI, mortgage insurance. But I'm also going to add some reserves. So 2 months for a hazard and 4 months for the property taxes. And I'm going to advance forward to product number 2. So product number 2 was the wait for drop under Trump. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to manually enter this information. I now want to save some time because I have 3 more products to build. So I'm going to hit that copy from, and I'm going to copy from that first product that I built and just do a little bit of editing. So click OK. Now you can see a lot of that data has filtered to some of those blank areas. But wait for drop, I'm going to change the purchase price now to $400,000. The down payment will remain 20%, but at this point I want to adjust the rate. So now the rate is going to increase to 4.75. Advance forward. By copying and using that copy feature, my closing costs also copied over for me to save me some time. So that's great. If I'm not making any changes with the cost, I can definitely advance forward like I'm going to do. It also saves me time and copies over those monthly costs as well. So now I don't have to recreate or do those same steps again. So now let's move to product number 3. So no drop under Clinton. So I'm going to use that copy from feature. I can copy from either the Obama, the buy now, or wait for drop under Trump. So I'm going to copy that one. Click OK. And under this product here, product number 3, the rate has, not the rate, but the actual purchase price has increased back to $425. So I'm going to make those changes there. The down payment remains the same and the rate remains the same. So I'm good to go. Advance forward. Those closing costs copied for me, which is great. Also the monthly costs, which is great. And now I just have to do my very last product, the 4th product. So here I want to also copy from any of the 3 that I built. So I'll just copy from the no drop. The purchase price increased to $450. And the rate, the rate is,
the purchase price went to $475.
$450. So purchase price is $450 and the interest rate is 4.75, which I'm good to go here. The terms are the same, so let's advance forward. Closing cost is good. Monthly cost is great. Now we can advance forward, and now we reach the analysis summary. So this is definitely something that we want to hone down and make sure that you as a lending professional, you can actually set those goals for your customers. So you can determine if they buy a home in this particular area, this region, the property appreciation rate will be 3%, 4%, 5%. And then how you want to show the presentation, long-term and short-term, you just make those adjustments in months or years. So I want to change mine to 10 years to see that adjustment. And then you have your long-term graphs here where you can show total interest And also here you have your short-term and graph format as well.
Okay, one thing that I would like to add, folks, if we do a quick preview of the presentation right now, and I think this was the prior presentation, or is this the one that you just built, Star?
No, that's the prior one.
Okay, so let me do a quick preview of the presentation that Star just went through. And just point out one thing here that could be, important for you. It could be a nice touch to your presentation. So I'm going to do a preview of the presentation as it stands right now. And if you take a look here in the monthly payment savings here, okay, I want to make sure that everybody understands when they're looking at this, which product has the highest monthly payment? Which of these choices is going to provide the borrower with the highest monthly payment? So if everybody could take a look at it and type something in the question area, whatever response that you feel is going to have the highest monthly payment. Thank you, Troy. Brad, perfect. Let's get a few more responses. Don't be shy. We won't name you if you've got the incorrect answer. We won't throw you under the bus, I guess you could say. So go ahead, take a look at it. Thank you, Jeff. Lewis, okay. All right. So if you take a look right now, this product is going to be the most expensive one right here. So many of you got the correct answer there. This is going to be the most expensive product. The buy now is not quite the least expensive, but it's pretty darn close to being the least expensive option. And that's kind of how you want to paint the picture to your client. But I want to show you that you can adjust. Star was just in the analysis area here. And you can see this monthly payment benchmark. It's set up for the highest. Well, you could flip that and you could go to the lowest, or you can go ahead and choose which one that you want the others to be compared to. You might want to go ahead and compare the other products to the buy now. Now, when I do that, you can see the impact that it has on the presentation here in the analysis area. But when I arrow over, look at the impact on the presentation that the borrower view. This will update in just a second, and you can see what your presentation looks like. So if you choose to, you can adjust how your presentation appears to your client by showing them here. In this case, the buy now option is going to almost offer them the lowest monthly payment, and everything else pretty much is going to cost them more. So if you prefer blue or red or however you want to drive across your point, that's one of the features within your mortgage coach tool that you can utilize to emphasize your presentation and really drive across your point.
Great point, Brian. Let's keep it going with that theme. I like the blue and the red, so let's leave it there. So definitely you can make those changes here for the monthly, the short-term analysis and long-term. And let's advance forward. So I went ahead and left in the contact information as blank because as stated before, under the client and also the affordability, I don't have a client at this point. So I left that blank. Now you have to select the ones that you want to see on your presentation. You have to select the presentation you want to see, which is already defaulted to total cost, which that is correct. And also in this area as well, if you did not want to show one of the 4 products that you created, you can definitely uncheck any one you don't want to be shown on the presentation, and it will be excluded. And this is where you can add your payment note. So if you wanted to let the customers or potential prospects know that taxes and insurance are included in the payment, you can definitely put that information here. But we wanted to put a disclaimer to let you know what today's presentation was representing here. And you'll just see those graphs once more. I'm going to jump right over to preview. Always remember when you're quoting any type of rates, make sure you always protect yourself and add a quote date. And since this is a marketing piece, you can definitely generate your link here, copy and paste this in an email, or hit, if you're using a Windows-based computer, you can hit share and bring it up in email and send email. And to Ryan's point earlier, if you wanted to share this Facebook or Twitter and it's within guidelines compliance for your line of business, you can definitely select those sharing options as well. And here is where you would select add audio and video. So if you want to add some type of election marketing campaign yourself and get on camera and drive home your point, you definitely can exercise this option here by hitting add audio and video. And once you add audio and video to the select that option here, your final presentation will then display. You would see a record message right here at the bottom. Once you select record message, you definitely want to allow your flash player settings. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. So thank you for joining today's session. So I wanted to show you what it looks like if you got on camera today. And you'll just hit the record button and start recording your message and letting your potential customers and buyers know what you have to offer them. Once you're done, you'll hit the record button. If you like it, you can hit repeat video. It will continue to play in the background. You can definitely let your customers know it will continue to loop around. If you do not like your video for whatever reason, definitely hit that trash can, start over again. The system will ask you, are you sure you want to delete this message? Yes or no. You'll hit yes and move forward. So happy Thursday. I'm going to get off camera now and bring in my co-host.
All right, and that was the nuts and bolts of how to build this presentation. So we're going to pause for a second here, show you another strategy here as to how to use marketing presentations. So if you have some questions, now would be the time to go ahead and get those questions into the question box. We'll make sure that we answer those. And then I want to bring up another tool that you should be using, especially in light of what's going on with rates, with all this uncertainty here. I'm going to introduce another tool that many of you may already be using, but also, share with you how this tool can be used. So I'm going to pause here for a second, let you folks enter your questions into the question area. We'll get those cleared up, and then we'll go ahead and transition to another tool that you could use. All right, so we've got a couple questions in. Let's see here. Brad had a question. Looks like you want to go over the explanation of the products one more time here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll take care of that. So in looking at Star's presentation here, I'll go ahead and highlight the first one. And to highlight an entire product, just so you know how I'm doing this as I'm going along with the presentation, I'm actually clicking in the name, the product name. And once I do that, the entire column is highlighted. So this is the buy now option, and you could change it, like I said, name your product whatever you wish. So buy now is what the borrower can take advantage of. We know this is fact. These are the conditions that are in place right now that you have the opportunity to take advantage of. The next product is emphasizing, well, if you wait, you may get that price drop that you're hoping for, or you may find a home at a lower price point. However, during that time, what happens if rates should increase? If rates increase, the amount of money that you're going to be saving is very, very minimal. So you like this particular property enough to go ahead and put an offer in. If rates increase a half a point and you get that price drop, is it really going to have the impact on the payment that you're hoping for? Third product is what happens if you don't get that drop? What happens if prices remain the same? And what happens, rates do increase. So now you have to buy a home at the same price point, but with a higher interest rate. How is that going to have an impact on your monthly payment? Well, it's going to cost you $101 more. $100 is a little bit more of a significant impact than, say, $37. The last column is the year-end chaos, or what you would say maybe the worst case scenario. And what I mean by worst case scenario, well, the price of the home has increased from $425,000, which you could take advantage of at this point in time. Home prices increased and interest rates have increased. So you're painting the picture to your borrower of some possible outcomes that could come about, especially now with the all the activity, the uncertainty that's going on in the with interest rates, political environment, everything that's going on right now. You want to go ahead and paint a picture for your borrowers, provide a little bit more clarity so the picture becomes a little bit more clear and their vision is going to become clearer, so that either they're going to go ahead and move forward or hit the brakes and then stop. Either way, you get the answer that you need so you can go ahead and dedicate your time to the clients that you need to. I did want to point out one other thing here before we move on. This was built as a marketing presentation. Anytime that you build a presentation as a marketing presentation, you can go ahead and make it specific to a borrower simply by using your copy analysis button. So, Star, you want to go ahead and find that particular presentation in your database?
Yeah, sure, Brian. Let's see.
So she's going to view all, search, and then she's going to find that particular presentation. And that's the one that she just built. Now, once she highlights a presentation, you can see the date and the timestamp. She can go ahead and hit the copy analysis button. And when she does that, she can use that same presentation and make it specific to an individual. So the benefit to you as a mortgage coach user is that you want to have certain marketing presentations in your database that you can quickly customize to a specific individual, so it'll save you the time of having to recreate that exact same presentation. You can see all 4 products are there. They're already built. So what she did is she just took a marketing presentation that was a general presentation, copied it, and then made it specific to a particular individual. And now she could just do a little bit of editing and it'll save herself a tremendous amount of time. So you want to have certain presentations as marketing presentations or default presentations that you can have in your database that you can quickly copy, and it'll make your life a lot more simple. You can see all the products already built. She might just have to adjust an interest rate or a purchase price or whatever the case may be to be relevant to a specific client. Anything else that you want to add about that, Star?
No, it cuts down that time. And as you've seen, what I've just done is my new client is Star Johnson, my twin. The goal is still the same. The assumptions, maybe she's purchasing the same type of home, same price point, affordability. Now you can make this custom for that individual, put in their income information, what would they like to spend, what can they afford, and then now hone it down to your specific bar and put their contact information. But the actual presentation is just that much easier, that much greater to build in no time.
Okay, so we'll just take another quick little pause here, give you a chance to ask any questions that you may have. Okay, Brad had another question about different types of marketing presentations that you may want to have stored in your database. This particular presentation that we're sharing with you today, of course, is the cost of waiting presentation. There's several different types that you may want to have as default presentations that you save for yourself. what you really want to ask yourself, Brad or anybody else, if you're using particular products on a repeated basis, you can go ahead and save that. In other words, if you have a niche product,
points versus no points.
There you go. Or FHA versus conventional. You want to go ahead and save that so that you can quickly access it, copy it, and then just enter the new borrower's information and edit any type of parameters like purchase price or maybe the interest rate or points or whatever the case may be. But it makes it much easier for you to build these presentations more quickly by using your copy analysis button. As far as marketing presentations go, I mean, there's like the move up buyer presentation. You should have maybe like a rent versus own presentation that you have stored. Those are probably some of the top types of presentations that you want to have as defaults that are stored. There's several others. And you can have your own database too.
Brian, do you think based on the uncertainty of what's going on today, do you think maybe for some of our lending professionals on the line right now, maybe they've done some refinances or purchases for past clients? And with the uncertainty, maybe if they were at a higher rate, maybe they need to lower their rate now and maybe do a annual review.
That's a great point, Star. Very good point. So annual mortgage review. For those of you that have a database that have been in the business for a significant amount of time, and you have a database of existing clients, I hope that you're doing an annual mortgage review for them. And if they're in a position where they could take advantage of what's going on, it'd be a great time. So with all this uncertainty, what I want to do is I want to make sure you folks are utilizing another tool that you have with your Mortgage Coach membership. And some of you are probably already aware of this tool. If you, maybe with a show of hands, in the GoToWebinar control panel, how many people are using RateWatch? And how many people are using RateWatch on their mobile device? Wow, this is actually surprising. I mean, if I had a poll, I would say that probably it's a small percentage of people that are using RateWatch. So I'm actually kind of surprised. If you're not using our product, I hope that you're using something else that is tracking what's going on with the mortgage-backed security market. You folks are in the trenches and living it day by day. So you definitely want to have a tool like this so that you could share the information and content with your clients, but just for your own knowledge as well. You want to have this information. So if you have not yet done it, I strongly encourage you folks, when you get off, or you can even do it right now, grab your phone, whether you have an Apple or an Android phone, and download the RateWatch application to your mobile device. Let's see here. Lewis had a question, why don't I get alerts? My phone? We'll cover that right now. Great question, Lewis. So what we'll do is I'll share with you a little bit about RateWatch. So like I said, you folks are living it right now. And let me share with you, this is something that you could point out to your clients. If you take a look, this is the home screen right now. I'm using an Android mobile device. If you take a look, this is a 10-day period. You could change that, and I'm purposely going to change it to about 3 months here. So what I did is I clicked on parameters, and then you could see all the different choices. I could track a different coupon, coupon increment. I can add a 10-day moving average, a 30-day moving average, whatever type of metric that I want to put on there. I'm going to go ahead and change it to 3 months. And I'm going to show you, and you folks probably know this better than I do, but take a look, and I'm going to rotate my phone here. Look at what happened. Look at what has happened to pricing over this particular period of time. So these valleys, we're currently in a valley right now. Your pricing has probably increased with your rates. Rates have probably increased. Now, this is the mortgage-backed security market, which controls what happens with interest rates. So this is tracking the Fannie Mae 30-year coupon, And this is what's happening with rates. This is what controls rates. And the coupon was trading way up here back in September. And you can see how it's shifted now. So now your pricing is probably nowhere near, because your individual lock desk has had to make some type of adjustments. So your pricing is probably nowhere near where it was up here. So if you're working with a client, you can go ahead and share this information with them, especially as, if we get a little bit of a rebound. If you're trying to use it and emphasize, we need to take action, and here's why, it's a great tool to have at your disposal. So this is tracking a 3-month period. I'm going to flip my phone around this way, and I'm going to go to the day watch. Now you can currently see the whole screen is red, and we're currently down 18 basis points. Not a great day in the market. And if you take a look, we've had 2 alerts that have occurred. Those yellow dots are indicating that there's been a shift in the market of 15 basis points or more. And unfortunately, there were 2 downward shifts. And as Lewis was mentioning, how do I get those alerts sent to me? Well, if you take a look, let me come back. I'm going to click on the alerts, and you can see the 2 shifts. So in the settings area, all you have to do is go to email and SMS alerts, click on that, and make sure that there is a check mark in the boxes so that you receive the alerts and how you wish to receive them. Do you want to receive them via text, email, both, whatever the case may be?
And make sure you add your cell phone number.
Okay. So as I was mentioning, why is the market in this position right now? What's going on? Well, you have access to 2 experts in the commentary section. You can read Dan Rawich, and he provided commentary as to what's happening and what he's expecting to happen. He mentioned, I briefly read the update earlier before joining, and this is going to be significant. Tomorrow is the big day when Q3 GDP will be released. So this could have a potential impact on interest rates. So if you're a borrower and you're stuck on the fence, this could be something that you may want to share with them to get them moving in one direction or another. And to share information using an Android device, you can go ahead and click on those 3 dots, and you can send it off to them via email, via text, whatever is the most convenient way. Text, information that you can post on your Facebook. So it's a tool that you have at your disposal to be able to demonstrate that as a mortgage professional, you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with the mortgage-backed security market and how that's potentially going to have an impact on interest rates. So I can't imagine being an originator and not having something like this and using this with your clients. You really want to keep yourself informed. You want to be able to demonstrate to your clients that you have your finger on the pulse. So if you're not using ours, it's included with your membership. There's no extra cost. I don't know why you wouldn't want to use ours, but if you don't have ours, I hope you're using something to keep you in tune with what's going on with the market. So I'm going to pause here for a second. We're getting close to the top of the hour, and I want to make sure that we address any questions that anybody has. So we'll pause here for a second and go ahead and fill up that question box if there's something that you want addressed. Okay. All right. So we got a question in here from Ryan. Let me go ahead and share with you. So Ryan's question was, how do you make adjustments to the increments that you want to show as far as the time horizon? So up here in the top where you see the parameters, you'll click on parameters, and you can see the time here. Once I click on that, it'll allow me to choose the different time horizons that I want, whether it's 10 days, 1 month, 3 months, or the maximum. Maximum, I'm going to go ahead and click it. I think it's a period of about 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go ahead and see what type of impact that has. This is really, take a look at where we were back here. Oh yeah, this is back in May of 08, so it goes back way far. So if you take a look, oh, this is May 8th. Okay. So you can see what's happened with pricing. That's the maximum here. And by the way, this is Rate Watch on your mobile device. You can also access Rate Watch. I want to make sure that you understand. Let me slide this over here for a second. Here in Member Services, again, this is Mortgage Coach, our website, Member Services. See where it says Rate Watch Login? You can go ahead and click on that, and you can access Rate Watch on your desktop or laptop as well. It's a little bit, you have a bigger screen, so you're able to absorb more data if you want to have it on your desktop or your laptop as well. Let me go ahead and bring my mobile back over and just show you a couple features. The reason that I'm emphasizing the mobile, though, is that most likely, when you're in some type of, and you're out and about and somebody finds out that you're a mortgage professional, what's the next question that they have? Anybody that's been originating for 6 months or more, once somebody finds out you're a mortgage professional, what's the next question they're going to ask you? Everybody's gotten quiet here. Yeah, Lewis has got it. Ryan, exactly. What are rates doing? What's going on with interest rates? And they might be making polite conversation, or they may be in the middle of a transaction and their originator's not providing with that content. You as a mortgage professional then that has access to this tool, that's your opportunity. That's your opportunity to shine and say, well, that's a great question. Let me take out my phone. I'll show you exactly what's going on with interest rates. Are you doing something right now? Are you possibly thinking about doing something? Gives you an opportunity to go ahead and seize the moment and provide them with an education and shine as a mortgage professional and demonstrate that you're pulling out a tool and you have access to it and could be able to show them exactly what's going on and how it could potentially help them if there's some benefit for them. So go ahead and go back. And again, to share that information, all you have to do is click on the 3 dots from an Android. From an Apple device, it'll say share. I meant to hit the parameter, sorry. You can actually, let me go to the analysis here and show you one other feature here. You can put a 10-day moving average, 30, 100, whatever you want. I'll go ahead and I'll just put a 10-day moving average so you can see the impact that has on your graph. And I'll change my time horizon back to a shorter period. I'm going to go to 3 months. Okay, so these adjustments will be made. I'm going to flip my phone into the horizontal position. And it might be a little bit difficult to see, but you can see the 10-day moving average, which is this blue line right here. So you can point that out to your clients. This is the trend, the 10-day moving average. You can put support on there. There's a lot of features. And the only way that you're going to get familiar with this particular app on your mobile device, you have to download it. You have to go ahead and play with it and get yourself familiar with it. So there you go. I'm going to pause one last time here, make sure that we address anybody's questions, and then we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up for the day. So just a quick pause. Any questions that you have, please go ahead and put those in the question area.
All right, well, great. It looks like our question box is all clear. Thank you very much for sharing about those rates and the impact with the rate watch, Brian. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and move your device right on out the way. And I want to make sure that we mention to you all, just in case you are not aware, on the website, mortgagecoach.com, if you review Connect, it shows our calendar, but also a member services as well, right under the support center. It takes you right over to our knowledge base where we have a wealth of information for its quick reference links, playlists and scripts, walkthrough videos. If you have a particular keyword, phrase, or scenario, you can definitely type it here in our search engine and search, and everything we have on that particular scenario will be displayed for you. If for some reason you have an issue, you can always submit a ticket, a request. It is routed to our support center. Or you can also email us at support@mortgagecoach.com, and we have Mortgage Coach experts available for you Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 Pacific time. But I want to go right back to our website really quickly and review underneath Connect the calendar. So as Brian mentioned, if you have questions, please pose those questions to us every Thursday, where we offer the Thursday training call that you have tapped into today. And if you have challenges on building presentations, we offer a intro to Mortgage Coach class every Monday at 9 Pacific time. And also, to all of my leaders on the phone, every Tuesday, our CEO interviews hundreds of industry professionals in the business. They share all their strategies and practices, which is a very good call. So if you have an option to attend one of these Tuesday calls, we highly suggest that you do that. And on Wednesdays, we offer Mobile Wednesdays. So all about mobile, all about leveraging your mobile device, which is actually a sales tool to help you with your business and also with borrower conversion. So I definitely want to touch base on that to let you guys know some of the additional benefits you have as being a member here with Mortgage Coach within our community.
All right, and with that, it looks like our question area is clear. So we want to thank you folks for joining us. We do hope to see you folks in future training sessions. And please remember, please bring your questions to our Thursday Q&A calls. Hope you folks have a great week.
Take care. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Starlett Johnson, and it was a pleasure.
Take care, folks.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.